Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. On today's video I have another makeup tutorial for you guys. So as you can see earlier in that video, I started out by cleaning her face with my wipes, and then I go ahead to moisturize with a moisturizer. I moisturize very well. I moisturize her face very well. And if you're new here, if this is your first time stopping by, you're most highly welcome. Please make sure to stay, subscribe, also like this video, leave a comment in the comment section down below if you found this video very helpful. So let's jump right into this video. Also, I'll be dropping my Instagram handle to both my business page and personal page in the description box, so please make sure to check it out and follow me. Then I go in with a primer. Then I just prime her forehead, around her nose and her mouth area with the primer. I don't do the full primer on the whole face. I just use primer on these specific areas. Also guys, if my setup is not giving, I'm sorry. This is my first time ever recording a makeup tutorial that I did on someone for YouTube. Is my first time, so the lighting setup may not be perfect like your faves, but please bear with me. With time it's going to get better. So then I'm going to go ahead with this eyebrow foundation. Actually I used only the eyebrow foundation, not the V Beauty. I was just showing you guys the two shades that I felt like matched her skin tone better, but I went in with the eyebrow foundation alone matched her skin. Like guys, I didn't have to use any other extra thing to match her skin. I had with my setting spray to just melt the whole thing, like set the whole thing and get it ready. So after that I waited for the setting spray to dry, and then I went in with my soft beauty blender and I started to tap it in. I started to tap or push my beauty blender into the skin. I wasn't dragging the beauty blender, I wasn't dragging it, I was just pushing it in bit by bit, taking my time, because when it comes to blending you have to take your time and blend so that you can get a flawless and beautiful finish. Remember that your skin work and your skin prep is an essential part of your makeup, is the base of your makeup. So you have to make sure that your skin work is perfect. I'm in love with skin work. I love my skin work looking very perfect and very flawless. I don't like my makeup looking heavy on my clients. So make sure to tap in, take your time. In fact, if your hands don't hurt, you have not started blending. So make sure to take your time and blend. So guys, I then went in with my concealer, the two shades of Adventure concealer, the shade 02 and 03. 02 is lighter than 03, so I used 02 in the inner corners of her eyes and I used 03 at the outer corners of her eyes. So when I want to blend, I blend from the outer corner going towards the inner corner. I don't blend from the inner corner going towards the outer corner. I don't know if there's a problem with doing that, but personally how I do it and how it works for me, how I achieve a flawless finish, I blend from the outer corner going towards the inner corner. Also, when you're blending your concealer, remember that blending is still the key. Keep blending. Make sure you blend your concealer perfectly into your foundation and into the skin so that everything comes out nice and flawless. So guys, I would like to apologize again. I feel like I should have zoomed, like I should have set the camera in a way that it's close to her face so you guys can see what I'm doing. But like I said, this is my first time, so please forgive me. Please make sure to stay to the end of this video. I promise you're going to learn a lot. This is my first time. The next time is going to be better, and that's how we'll keep getting better. Make sure to subscribe so I can have money to buy all the things I need to create amazing makeup tutorials for you guys. So guys, as you can see, I'm using the concealer on her forehead, the bridge of her nose and on her mouth area. So those parts are essential for you to highlight as a makeup artist. this is for beginners, so make sure to highlight those areas. And as a beginner, make sure you're using a beauty blender. I feel like beauty blenders are easier to blend, much easier to blend with than brushes, so use beauty blenders. I will also like to add that probably you saw me blending out my concealer immediately I put the concealer on, but that was because this Adventure concealer dries fast, so I blend in immediately. But there are concealers you need to wait for it to get tacky before you blend. So now at the nose, when I was trying to blend out the nose, I noticed it was dry because I left it for some minutes, so it became very dry. So what I did was add an extra concealer to it and then blend. I also went in with this Adventure foundation. I'm using it for my contour. So for your contour, you have to start from the top of your ear, where your ear starts, and go in an L shape form. That's how I contour, like just go from there in an L shape form. Then I will also go ahead to contour her forehead and her nose. So as a beginner, I would advise that you don't cream contour when you're contouring the nose. Just powder contour. It's going to be easier for you. And also make sure you're using little products, very little products, so that you don't overdo the whole thing as a beginner, and you're going to find it very difficult to blend if you're a beginner. So use little products so that it will be easier for you to blend.
In your head, seeking your attention, but simple instead. Cause I hope you look my way, but no, you didn't even.
I'm blending in everything and making sure that everything is perfect and flawless. Then I'm going to use this red lipstick as blush. Also use a very tiny amount of lipstick and ask your client or model to smile and place the blush right on their cheek, a little bit above the contour. But when you're blending, make sure that you blend the blush into the contour so that no one knows where the blush started or where the contour ended. And here I'm about to bake, so one thing I did was to blend the under eye again to avoid any crease around that area. Then I went in with my setting powder. I went in bit by bit. That's how I bake. For some people this is setting, but for me this is my baking. So I went in bit by bit until I was comfortable and I knew that I was okay with what I had on her already. So I used this Q-tips or cotton bud to remove anything I see in her eyes. She was actually tearing up due to the fact that I was blending her under eye. So I used that cotton bud to just dry up her tears. For the brows, I first went in with a hair wax and I brushed everything backwards kind of. Then I started to do the brows. I will drop a very detailed eyebrow tutorial if you guys want me to. So if you want a detailed eyebrow tutorial, please comment in the comment section down below and say eyebrow tutorial. That way I would be ginger to really drop this eyebrow tutorial, because I feel like it's important that I drop it. But I want to know, do you guys want me to drop that? And I'm sorry if I'm also obstructing. At this point I was in a hurry, it was already late, so wanted to get the makeup over and done with. So I wasn't really even interested in the fact that I was obstructing the camera. So I'm sorry guys, and I promise you guys, if you guys want it, I will drop a detailed eyebrow tutorial for all of you. Anyways, after I use my gel liner to just draw out my lines, I use my pencil, very sharp pencil, to fill in. So I fill in lightly. I only use my gel liner to fill in areas that have no hair. I'm sorry. Then I use a pencil to fill in the areas that have hair. Just follow the exact shape of the hair, drawing hair like strokes, but I'll give a much detailed eyebrow tutorial later. So if you guys want it, comment that in the comment section. Then of course I'm going to go in with this concealer as my eyeshadow base, and then I'm going to use that brush to blend in. Also, when you are using anything as an eyeshadow base, make sure you blend in. This is your base, so blending is very important here. Blend your concealer well, blend it well, like so that it doesn't have creases that will affect your eyeshadow when you start to do your eyeshadow. So I use the African Queen palette to do my eyeshadow, and then I use a fluffy round small brush for my eyeshadow. I'm going in with this brown eyeshadow from that palette. I'm definitely going to put a picture around so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I use a brown eyeshadow as my transition shade. Always remember that blending is key in anything that you're doing. So I blend that brown eyeshadow well. I take my time and I blend it well. So here I'm not doing a cut crease, so I'm just adding that concealer there so that I can have more pigment, so that like it could help with the pigment of the next eyeshadow I want to put there. Then after doing this whole thing, after blending out that concealer, the next thing that I do is just going with the eyeshadow that I want to use, and I start to place it in that area. So I tap it in. I don't drag. I know it might look like I'm dragging, but I promise you guys I'm tapping it in. Then I'll do the same thing to the other eye. And then I was just not feeling it, so I decided to add a little bit more black color on the outside. That's where the transition shade is. You're going to definitely get to that part and see it. So I started to do that just to give my eyes more pigment. So for this black eyeshadow, I was going in bit by bit. So I'll be concentrating it mainly on the outer corner. I'm going in bit by bit because I don't want black can be a very pigmented color, so I don't want it to outweigh the whole look. So I'm going in bit by bit, taking my time, and then I'm blending it in. I just keep going in till I've gotten what I want. Then after doing that to that eyes, I'll go over to the other eyes.
Seeking your attention, but simple instead. Cause I hope you look my way, but no, you didn't.
Guys, please, if you got to this part of the tutorial and you really enjoyed it, please give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment in the comment section, you know, to help me realize that you really enjoyed my tutorial. And also, if you want the eyebrow tutorial, remember to comment eyebrow tutorial in the comment section. So here I'm going in with my beauty blender just to blend in everything again. I'm also going in with that brush just to blend in everything, and then I'm doing my tight line. No, that was my under eye. I was doing the under eye. When you're doing the under eyeliner, just take it easy, be very gentle, and you know, give your client the time to just breathe and recover so that they don't tear up. So then we went over to the lips. This is definitely the last part of this video. Also, before I did the lips, I've already set her face with a setting spray, and everything just melted in and just looked really nice. So I started by lining her lips with that eye pencil, the same eye pencil I used when I was filling in her brows, and then I went in with this lipstick and I started to blend it in with that brush, the bottom of the brush. Sometimes I use the bottom of the brush to blend, sometimes I use the brush to blend. Just depends on how I'm feeling, do you understand? So that will definitely bring us to the end of this makeup tutorial. If you liked this video, please make sure to like, please subscribe if you've not yet subscribed, comment, do all those good stuff, you know, that is going to motivate me to create more beautiful tutorials for you guys. I love you. See you guys in my next one. Mwah. forgot to say, of course, we were going to use lip gloss on her lips. We glossed the lips, and yeah, that was the final part of the makeup. Okay, I was doing her under eyes. I was using that eyeshadow to just blend out her under eyes. And yeah, that's it. Of course, I went in with my beauty blender again because I'm a perfectionist and I just keep going in with everything.
I don't even know what to get in your head. Seeking your attention, but simple instead. Cause I hope you look my way, but no, you didn't even see me. Gazes a day, feeling every day like